Most solo creators think they cannot compete with bigger teams. And that honestly was true until we got AI. I now have been building content creation teams and systems, and here's what I've built. Because right now, your competitors have teams of people that can go through, look at your content. They know what your hooks are. They know what's doing really well. They also know what Google Trends is picking up, and that's going to be their next topic. They also know what every single news media outlet is saying about their industry. To do that normally requires a giant team of people, but now with AI, you can do that for literally 20 bucks a month. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I actually built a content creation analyst. They're able to look at the analytics and then help me make decisions on what I should make next. So let's dive in. The reason why I started building this in the first place is because of what we normally do. What we normally do as business owners is we go through, we look at what got the most views. Maybe we'll look at the engagement rate. Maybe we'll look at saves, likes, whatever. But it's just kind of this manual scrolling through. This did well, this didn't. And it's very superficial. I did this for years. And in fact, I found myself looking, getting overwhelmed, and then never actually doing anything about the data that I got. It was this vicious cycle of, oh, that did well, that didn't do well, and then I don't actually use the information. Instead, what I wanted is I wanted a second person, a partner that could sit there and say, hey, Joe, like this is the no-brainer content idea that you should be doing because this is what the data is saying. Now, I'm not someone who's inclined to numbers. And so using AI to be able to do that for me has been a game changer. And unless you think that this is super technical and it's going to be really complicated, like I don't know how to code. I don't have a computer science degree. I honestly have just been learning from people like you're doing right now on how to use AI effectively in my workflow. So let me show you what it actually looks like. So what I do is I pop in here to Claude, I go into projects, and I have a couple different ones. I have a copywriter, I have a script writer, I have a carousel maker, right? And then I have a content analytics person or project. And so I can go through here and I can chat with this project. It reads my content data analytics file, which gives it instructions on exactly what I want it to do to pull my data, my analytics, all that stuff. And then it gives me information. But the problem is that Claude doesn't know what's in my content. It doesn't know all the things that I post on Instagram. And so I have to connect the data from Instagram to Claude. The way that I've chosen to do this for now is I've used something called Appify. Appify is essentially a scraper. It can go out onto, social media sites, scrape all the data and information, the transcripts, all that stuff, and actually put it into an Excel file or Google Sheets. Let's be honest, who uses Excel anymore anyways? So I can go into Appify. I have these saved tasks. I have one that scrapes for my competitors, one that does my own, and I'm gonna go ahead and run mine so you can see what that looks like. Start, confirm. And as it's loading, it's going to pull into a Google Sheet. And so I go here onto this content analytics template and boom, it has all of the information from my posts. Now, the thing about it is looking at this is overwhelming. I'm not a numbers person. I don't want to look at this Excel spreadsheet and try to understand what it's saying. So what I do is I connect the information from the spreadsheet and just send it back to Claude. It's a super easy setup. And I can tell it to pull up my content dashboard. And what it's doing in real time is it's pulling up all the data, right? So it's looking at my hooks. It's looking at the different kinds of posts that I'm doing. And it's going through, it makes comments like, only 2 posts have any comments on them. Hook data is rich. I have 38 captions to classify and compare, right? So it's going through and it's looking at what are the different kind of hooks that I'm using, and then it's gonna give me some information on it. Oh, that's beautiful. So it's showing like, I'm talking about AI systems, 12 of them are that. Content strategy, creator journey, tools and demos, and mindset and story. So I can use this information from Claude, pull it up whenever I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, I want to think about like, what am I going to be writing? I want to look at how are we doing this week? I can go up to Claude, hey, give me an update. And I can see right there, this is what's going on in your content. Now, the thing about this system you should know is it's not foolproof. For example, I have a sheet here, which pulls all the data and information, but it's not pulling the engagement rate right now. I had this problem earlier. I'm going to have to go through, I'm going to have to work back and forth and see, hey, what's going on? Probably something inside Appify where it's not scraping it and pulling the information correctly. But like there's little tweaks here and there that I have to do. Either way, once it's done, I now have this on repeat. I actually can have this sheet in Apify scheduled, I can actually schedule it so that this is all done like clockwork every Sunday night or every Tuesday or whatever, so that I don't have to go through, touch anything. It just scrapes all my posts and then puts it inside the sheet. The best part about this is that we now have all of this information in Claude, and it's specifically my content analytics project. So what's happening is every week as it gets updated, it's going to know and have some kind of memory as to, hey, this is how we performed last week. This is what we can do to improve. And going back to this project here, I can add a file that has a memory of updating every single week. This is what we did. This is what we decided on. This is what we did moving forward. Like, this is amazing because I can chat with Claude, talk with it. It has all my information and it makes all my decisions way easier. Now, maybe you're sitting here and thinking, I don't know if I have time to make that. I don't know if it's something that's worth making. The reason I did this is because I wanted to make money from content, not just get views and likes. The whole goal is to make data-driven decisions so that we can figure out what kind of people are interacting with my stuff and how can I reach them better. What are actually getting the saves? What are actually getting longer viewer duration? What things are actually getting comments, right? And Claude can also look at my script writing and use the data to then make better scripts so that when I'm doing these videos or I'm doing carousels or any other kind of writing for my copywriter, it's already informed by the data that we get from here. It starts to become an AI content team. And it feels overwhelming at first, I'll be honest. But as you do it step by step, they start to build on each other. And then you have this amazing ecosystem that you don't really have to put a lot of work into, you just manage. Now, there's two things that are true before you go. One, you are not the only one who has and will watch this video. The second is that there are lots of people right now who are building systems like this. People in your niche, people in your business, people who want to sell what it is that you sell, and they want to make content based on what you make content on. And so if you want to get ahead and start learning how to use AI to manage your content, then I'm going to be opening up a workshop that's going to go through more on how do we actually build AI teams and what you can do to get ahead in 2026. I'm documenting as I go. You're seeing the good, you're seeing the bad, and I hope that that is helpful for you today. And remember, you're in the right place.